They're going to talk about more updated news, mostly from February 2025, but also we'll talk about something related to WIOA back in January 2025. So first thing, really quick, I want to talk about this article from Mother Jones. It's from February 14, 2025. It discusses about how RFK Jr. is already tackling antidepressants. So we already know that RFK Jr. is being chosen as the head of the U.S. Department of Health, which of course is being a huge issue because he's not qualified for the job. He does not agree with vaccines for measles. That's something else I'll probably make a video about separately, and there's a lot of issues with him. So there's something that I found interesting that uh, basically the Department Department of Health with RFK Jr. on top of it, uh, the HHS secretary has made baseless claims that the drugs are addictive and cause violent behavior. Talking about antidepressants, that's basically what RFK Jr. is talking about. This is just a picture when RFK uh, going through the process of being chosen as a secretary for the Human Services Department. So that's just him. Here's a picture of him doing that right at the White House back in February 13, 2025. So basically, right after he being confirmed as a secretary for the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. issued a statement that laid out sweeping plans for the first 100 days in office. Part of it is also to not use vaccines for certain diseases like measles, which is a problem because we know that it's especially harmful to our children and the elderly. So that's not really a good idea to spread misinformation about the measles vaccine and antidepressant medication, etc. So it's a really big issue. So the document that he's talking about that lays out information basically called for the federal government to investigate the root causes of a broad range of conditions, including autism, ADHD, asthma, obesity, multiple cirrhosis, and psoriasis, the skin condition. However, he specifically uh, tried to be detailed about not mentioning uh, childhood vaccines. So instead of talking about childhood vaccines, how that's important, he wants to avoid that. He's been against uh, children having vaccines for many, many years. He's been anti vaccine advocate for a long time. He's part of the vaccine advocacy group Children Health Defense, which again doesn't actually help children. So if someone has children, make sure your kids are taking vaccines. It's a good thing. It's not going to cause a negative impact in their lives because in most cases, people don't have a bad reaction to vaccines. Most people get saved by it. I've taken many vaccines as a kid, still take regularly the flu shot and the COVID-19 shot every year. It's worth it. Listen to science. Scientists know what they're doing, not just random politicians who have no background in healthcare. Yes, which is RFK Jr. has zero experience in the healthcare field. He's not a doctor of any kind. He's not a medical physician. He's not some type of medical doctor. So keep that in mind. The document from RFK Jr. has zero. There's zero in on another one of his fixations. A class of widely prescribed drugs that treat depression, anxiety, and mood disorders. The government, he said, will assess the prevalence of and threat posed by the prescription selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors, antipsychotics, and mood stabilizers. Again, it's not doing because it's on science saying that these things are just bad. It's doing based on personal belief, normally related to religion, which again is not scientific. So this is how he's basically tackling or addressing the issue of using antidepressants to treat mental disorders or illnesses, which again is not doing anything to help. So the Food and Drug Administration, also known as the FDA, why it requires drug manufacturers to include warnings in packaging because of some evidence that the SSRIs can cause temporary increase in suicidal thoughts in pediatric patients. However, this is something I just summarized in that little paragraph that there's evidence that also point that it's mixed, so that varies. So the good news for the 13% of American adults who use SSRIs to treat depression and anxiety. So that's a good news because SSRIs is used to treat such conditions. So 13% of American adults already use that to treat their depression and anxiety. So despite all the evidence that antidepressants can work, again, RFK Jr. is not doing anything to really treat depression and other issues that relate to mental health. His idea is just not really helpful. So it's not gonna be helpful. There's more information here that it just doesn't really help people at all. I think he also tried to treat some like measles and other diseases with liver oil. Things that have nothing to do to actually treat the root cause of the issue that he claims he wants to do more research on. So, in advance of Kennedy's confirmation, 15K physicians signed an open letter opposing his appointment, which again they were correct. The letter specifically mentioned his false claims linking school shootings to antidepressants. Again, that's not true at all. It's not because of antidepressants people become school shooters. That's not how it works. Unfortunately, he still got obviously appointed, and again, Republicans, Congress members, and the Trump and the presidency as well, with Trump as a president who's a Republican, Elon Musk helping achieve his goals, Project 2025. None of these people care about the actual health and overall wellness and well-being of American people. Simple as that. Now I'm going to talk about another article from February 27, 2025 that talks about how Trump is carrying a financial lifeline for Venezuela by ending permit to export oil to the United States. Again, he's been going really after a lot of Hispanics. This is all going back to the whole Project 2025 regarding immigration. I made more video about this recently, but he's going heavily after Hispanics. Venezuela is a typical one that he goes after. He basically already paused or completely eliminated the whole TPS, temporary protection status for a lot of Venezuelans. So yeah, this is not really a surprise. I'll scroll down so you guys can read a little bit more in detail about it. None of this decision by Trump is a good thing. So it's unfortunate, but that's what's been helping. That's been happening. Let me just read this quickly. More than 77 million Venezuelans have left their homes since 2013. So that's a lot. Almost 8 million Venezuelans left their home, meaning their country, since 2013. That's a lot of people that we know of. When the oil dependent economy came undone and Maduro became president. Yeah, so that's just more little background details. I'm just going to that a little bit more. Yeah, just talking about how the oil that you should get from there. So the terms of the license, nothing, just more information about that. It's unclear how Maduro's government has used their money as it stopped publishing almost all financial data several years ago. Okay, from the oil they sold. I just need more information. Donald Trump Jr. accused Maduro of using the funds for repression, persecution, corruption. Okay. All right. So basically, for now, in a nutshell, decided to talk about how Venezuela is not going to be able to sell oil to the U.S. At least to a certain extent for now. We'll see how that goes. Now, this article, this is relating to the governor of Illinois from mystateline.com website, where you know that Trump and the Illinois governor JB they've been going back and forth with each other. And the governor of Illinois been trying really hard to get his funding. But for now, the White House has been withholding almost $2 billion in funding for the state of Illinois. That's a whole other issue that they've been having. It's a big issue. So it's definitely a problem they've been trying to have. It's a big deal. They're not getting the fund they needed. That's going to impact school fundings, how school can operate, and many other projects they need, maybe fixing all roads and other issues. So it's important to get the funding. This is just a picture from seems like from 2023. Uh, so basically, it was just talking about how the governor of Illinois, JB, just I think he signed. Let me see. looks out for the crowd during the Illinois paid leave bill signing ceremony. Yeah. So when the paid leave bill was signed in the state, which is a good thing. He's also an advocate for abortion rights, which is important. Just a little background information about the governor of Illinois. So this has been an issue that's been going on for a while. It's not just inside the state of Illinois. Blue states in general been having lots of issues with Trump not providing them the funding that we technically all pay for through taxes. So it's a big problem that he should be providing the appropriate funding. So is something that's been going on for a while, back and forth. It's not a long article. That's really the gist of it. The Department of Justice said the case is moot because the memo was rescinded. These memos are not legally bound. They're not even executive orders. So Trump's been doing a lot of things that via memos that, again, technically your Supreme Court, if I guess it, could just completely deny it because memos are not really something that can be enforced properly. But again, it can be considered official action by Trump, so he's not gonna get in trouble. Pretty obviously, that's why they do things via memo, via executive orders, aka EOs, so he doesn't get in trouble. So it's a lot of issues, just more information how the funds are important because they need those funds to be able to support multiple state departments throughout the state of Illinois. The Department of Human Rights, Natural Resources, Power Agency, Transportation, Board Education, etc. It's a big issue. It's been going on for a while. This next hour is going to be something I just want to talk about really quick. It relates to something I also investigate. In my job, I investigate EO and affirmation cases, but also investigate WIOA cases, meaning workforce invasion opportunity act complaints. So that's something I also investigate. Why this matter? Because this was an article from January 2025 from the Community College Daily.com. Basically, this article talks about how the Senate has been on the radar regarding renewing the WIOA funding. Why does it matter to get WIOA funding? Well, WIOA funding helps with many state uh, public services. So if a state provides vocational rehabilitation services to consumers who are residents of your state, who needs the services for employment purposes, like getting a new suit for when applying for job interviews or job coach meetings, etc. All some part of the fund, if not all of it, could be from WIOA. And if you want to have more investigators to investigate WIOA, it's possible that part of the funding could come from WIOA or something else. Now it's from the state. So again, so now renewing this WIOA funding can make it very difficult for certain private service to be properly delivered to actual residents of a state. So it's very important to have this renewal. So this article is from January 21, 2025. I know it's been a couple months already, but it's important to inform people because a lot of people have no clue what WIO is, which is understandable. It's not very talked about. And the very fact they're just looking at it, potentially they may or may not continue the renewal of WIOA, it could cause a lot of different state agencies to not provide very important uh, public service to constituents in need, especially the vulnerable groups, the people who have physical disabilities, or they may be neurodivergent, or they may have some mental illnesses that, again, with the services they need, could help them get a job. A lot of these things, without this funding, it could be cut off from them, especially people who live in rural areas in the United States. So that's just a nutshell about this, and this is why WIOA, Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act, matters a lot. So it's very important. So we will see what will happen. There hasn't been much information yet for reauthorization of this or renewal, but I'll give more updates as far as I know. Next thing I want to talk about really quick is from February 26, 2025. Is an article by BBC.com that talks about how U.S. Congresswoman votes with baby in arms after proxy vote ban, which is this lady right here, with her baby. So 4 weeks after giving birth to her second child, Congresswoman Brittany Patterson cradled her baby son in her arms as she cast a crucial vote on the House floor because she was not allowed to vote remotely due to congressional rules, which is pretty unfair. So she's a Democrat, House Democrat from the state of Colorado. So she had to fly all the way there with her baby just to be able to vote. No exceptions. and they care so much about women, right? Really unfair. So in January, she introduced legislation allowing proxy voting for up to 12 weeks for members who have given birth or whose spouses have given birth and pregnant members who are unable to travel safely or have a serious medical condition. The bill has 137 bipartisan co-sponsors, which again, that should be an easy. The House and the Senate should easily pass it, and Trump should sign into law, right? They care about women, right? I can guarantee you this will go nowhere. It's unfortunate. I agree with the bill. It makes sense, but I can guarantee you it's not going to go anywhere. More than 100 Republicans, members of the House of Representatives, including current Speaker Mike Johnson, filed a lawsuit to end the practice, arguing it was unconstitutional. Okay, the legal argument failed, but when Republicans began control of the House in 2023, former Speaker of the House Kevin McCarthy ended proxy voting. Now I'm just going through more of the process here, the article. So Republican leadership has yet to budge. Yeah, so this is just a big issue there. Um, yeah, this hopefully will be fixed in the future, but unlikely with this current administration, meaning Trump's administration. So there's an interesting news. It's from newstuff.com. It probably won't matter to a lot of people, I understand, but I just want to inform people that Ken Jenkins won the Winchester County Executive Special Election. So he's a Democrat, and his opponent, who was a Republican, Christine Scotty, as she called to consider her race. So now we have more Democrats winning certain special elections that have been going on throughout this year. It matters. Doesn't matter if it's local, state, and federal. Every single election, right? There's a primary and general election. Special primary matters just as much as the general, and special elections matter just as much because it can give those people positions in power for at least until the official general election that will happen, primary and general election in 2026 and onwards. These things make a big difference. So I just want to give an update to that because Jenkins was named county executive earlier this year, taking over for George Latimer because he won a seat in the United States Congress, which is nice. So he won a U.S. House of Representatives, I would say, within Congress. So this is just good news. Again, it's from February 11, 2025. I don't think there's anything more about it, but this is good news. So again, we need to keep winning these things. Meaning we need to get people at least more progressive than Republicans, and hope in the future we can have socialists win these positions. That's my hope. So let me know in the comment section below what you guys think about everything I stated today and explained, and if you agree with RFK Jr., especially if you agree with RFK Jr. decision to go after antidepressants and potentially get rid of them for people who actually are trying to use it to treat the depression and other issues like anxiety disorders, etc. If you agree with him, if you disagree with him, let me know why in the comment section below. Everything said today is gonna be in the description. Also, I'm gonna paste this, so if you guys want to read the articles in detail, it's always in the description every single time. I make sure to put it there. If you liked the video, just like and subscribe to our channel. If you're watching this on TikTok, just follow us on TikTok, and I reply to as many comments as I think is feasible or needed. All right, have a good day.